I am going to prove to you that we are in the age of Aquarius right now. If you're interested, stick around. If there's something you don't understand, please ask in the comments. There are layers to this. So I have research that I have done. It's in my store for free. You can download it if you want and you want to try and understand any of this better. But fair warning, I have more research that I think will blow your mind. So here's the thing. If you understand that everything is corrupted, you'll want to hear this. I talk about this a lot, about like the time, medicine, calendar, astrology, spirituality in general. It's all been twisted, okay? And yet again, the deception goes deep, guys. It doesn't matter if you follow Western astrology or true sidereal astrology. This is just another layer of deception that I have never heard anybody talk about before. Also, if you have heard this before, please let me know in the comments, because I've been searching and I haven't found anyone. So here it is, the truth about the age of Aquarius. So layer 1, playing by their rules. First, I decided that I would play by their rules. That's what my research paper is about. Their rules say that the age you're living in is defined by where the sun is on the March equinox, the midpoint between winter and summer, okay? But here's the problem. Most systems reset every year. So tropical astrology pretends the stars don't move, and sidereal systems add an offset, but they still tie everything to the equinox in March. So my data showed, and I used a system that did not reset. I used anchored 0 degrees to Aries, and I let the precession unfold. So the calculations show 338.1 degrees Aquarius in 1797. So even by their own method, using the March equinox, the sun entered Aquarius in 1797. So that's not a theory, that's calculated, verified data from ephemerides. So we've been in the age of Aquarius for over 200 years. So I had my answer, case closed, done, right? Not gonna lie, it was not good enough for me. I always felt, there's still something missing. Am I just reaching? Am I trying to find anything to make it age of Aquarius? Like, I'm questioning myself, going like, there's something missing still. Part 2, the question that broke everything. So I stopped and I asked, why the March equinox? Why are we using a midpoint to define the beginning of anything? If you think about it, the March equinox is when day and night are equal. It's balance, it's the middle of the journey from winter to summer. Would you define a baby's life by its 6-month birthday? No. You would use its birth as the moment it bursts into the world. So why do we define cosmic ages by a midpoint? I started digging, like, when did this become a norm? Well, in 150 AD, Ptolemy chose the spring equinox as zodiac 0 point, even though he knew precession existed. And then Pope Gregory in 1582, he fixed the equinox to March 21st forever with the calendar reform. So that's where the March 21st comes from. A 2,000-year-old choice and a 16th century fix, not cosmic truth. I also wanted to talk about how they label the seasons. So December 21st is the first day of winter, but it's really the middle of winter and the darkest day. March 20th is considered the first day of spring, but it's actually the middle of spring, a balance point. June 21st, they consider it the first day of summer, which is actually the middle of summer, and it's the longest day. September 22nd is the first day of fall, but it's really the middle of fall, and it's a balance point. So looks like they've been calling midpoints beginnings our entire lives. So by March 20th, spring has already been happening for weeks. The snow melted in February, the end of February, the birds came back, days are visibly starting to look longer, March 20th is not the beginning, it's the confirmation that spring is established. Part 3, what the ancients actually celebrated, because obviously I had to do a deep dive into some esoteric info. So the Egyptians, they didn't track the sun on the equinox, they tracked the heliacal risings, so stars that rose just before the sun at dawn, because that was a sacred moment when a star's energy was mixing with the sun at the return of light. They celebrated Osiris's resurrection, rebirth, not balance, not a midpoint. The Celts, February 1st, the return of light, which would have been Aquarius, the first signs of spring, that's what they celebrated, the first signs of spring. The Persians celebrate rebirth at spring as well, not a mathematical midpoint. So every ancient culture that paid attention to nature celebrated the return of life, not balance and certainly not a midpoint. They celebrated what we would call bursting, not balance. Part 4. So layer 2. So me rejecting the broken system. So here's where I landed. So layer 1 was I played by their rules. I used the March equinox. I fixed the star to data, proving we entered Aquarius in 1797. Layer 2, their rules are wrong. The March equinox is just a midpoint. Ages should not be defined by midpoints. They should be defined by rebirth, when life returns. And when does life return? Late February, early March. So when I say look at where the sun is during that time, I'm serious. Open up a Sky app and check and see where the sun is sitting. It's literally in Aquarius right now. It's February 15th, 2026. So their first day of spring is March 20th, which is Pisces. The real beginning of spring happens entirely within the Aquarius season. So whether you use their broken system or the correct rebirth system that I just talked about, you're gonna get the same answer. We're in the age of Aquarius right freaking now. 2 different paths that I took, same destination. Part 5. My original paper proved the first layer, okay? Using fixed star astronomy with no annual reset, I calculated the March equinox sun at 338 degrees sidereal longitude in 1797, fully inside Aquarius. The data is solid. It's from ephemerides from the Fagan-Bradley Ionomsa, from real constellation boundaries. You can download it from my store for free, like I mentioned. Dig into it yourself. The paper did not go far enough, though. I still accepted their framework. The equinox was the right marker. Second layer totally came from asking, why is there a midpoint? Why is there not a rebirth? That question obviously led me to the seasonal deception, the ancient cultures, the realization that they've been calling midpoints beginnings to hide the truth. When I put both layers together, the picture became crystal clear. Hopefully it's crystal clear for you as well. Okay, here's what I want you to take away from this. I started with some complex research. I ended with a simple truth. They've been lying about when spring starts. They've been lying about the midpoint. They've been lying about the calendar. They call December 1st the first day of winter when it's the middle. March 20th is the first day of spring. It's the middle. June 21st is the first day of summer. It's the middle. Everything is shifted, so you never see the real beginnings. So it's the same corruption you see in medicine, spirituality, every system they touch. They take something true, they shift it slightly, and they call it something else. But the real beginning, the rebirth, it happens in late February. And in late February, the sun's in Aquarius. My research proves that even by their own broken system, we've been in Aquarius since 1797. I'm going to say this 100 more times. And by the right system, the ancient, the rebirth, we're in it right frickin' now. It's here. They just didn't want you to know. And if you've ever heard anyone else talk about this with the kind of in-depth research I have, please let me know. This might be the first time this framework has been put out there. I know I hear a lot of people talk about rebirth and stuff, but Does anyone actually understand what I'm talking about? Yeah, so now you know the truth. What you do with it is up to you.